Chapter 9, Part 3, The Devotee's Love, Scenes 9.14 to 9.21. Introduction, The Heart of Worship.
Scene. The chariot still stands between the two armies, but the conversation has risen above the battlefield. Krishna has shown Arjuna that he sustains all creation, that even destruction and rebirth are part of his divine rhythm. Now, he turns inward from cosmic truth to personal devotion. What does it mean to love God? How does the soul connect to the infinite?
Then, in the ancient world, worship often took many outer forms: fire rituals, chanting, pilgrimages, and sacrifices. People worshipped various deities, each representing a facet of the divine. Krishna now explains that behind every form of worship, it is he who receives the devotion. Some worship him directly as the supreme being, others worship gods and forces of nature, some seek worldly blessings, others seek liberation. Yet, he tells Arjuna, all paths, when followed with sincerity, lead to him. This teaching is revolutionary. It removes hierarchy among seekers. Krishna honors every form of faith while pointing to the essence bhakti, pure love. Devotion is not bound by ritual or caste, scripture or culture. It is measured by sincerity of heart. For Arjuna, this dissolves any doubt about who is worthy. The battlefield itself, filled with duty, fear, and courage, becomes a place of worship when performed with awareness.
Now, this wisdom is profoundly modern. Today, people express spirituality in countless ways: meditation, service, art, prayer, environmental care, silence, or song. Krishna would call them all valid when rooted in love and awareness. The outer action matters less than the inner offering. Worship is not limited to temples. It is alive in kitchens, classrooms, offices, hospitals, and homes, wherever the heart remembers the sacred.
In a divided world, this vision heals. We often argue about which religion or method is true, forgetting that sincerity is the soul of all. Krishna's teaching builds unity without uniformity. Diversity of faith becomes a garden of devotion, where every flower turns toward the same sun. This section also invites introspection. Do we worship for gain, or do we love for love's sake? Krishna distinguishes between devotion that seeks and devotion that gives. The highest worship is not asking, but offering, surrendering the ego and seeing the divine in all beings. Focus. Worship is not in form, but in sincerity. Every act done with love and awareness becomes a prayer. The heart that sees God in all is the true temple. Scene 9:14, The True Devotees.
Scene. Krishna says, constantly glorifying me, striving with firm resolve, bowing before me, the great souls worship me with devotion, ever united in love.
Then, Krishna describes the nature of the true devotee. These souls do not merely perform rituals, they live in remembrance. Their worship is not confined to moments but fills every breath. They glorify the divine in thought, word, and deed, seeing God in all actions, people, and experiences. Their devotion is steady, their hearts unbroken by doubt or distraction. For Arjuna, this is an inspiring image. The Mahatma is not one who escapes the world, but one who moves through it in continuous reverence. Every duty becomes sacred, every act a garland of offering. The bowing Krishna mentions is not physical posture alone, but inner humility, the bending of ego before the truth of unity.
Now, in our modern lives, worship often becomes compartmentalized, reserved for certain days or places. Krishna invites us to dissolve these boundaries. The true devotee remembers him while working, driving, cooking, caring, teaching. Meditation becomes movement. Movement becomes meditation. Glorifying God can mean singing, serving, forgiving, or simply living truthfully.
Such devotion transforms ordinary life into sacred art. When done with awareness, even small acts, washing dishes, helping a stranger, listening with compassion, become worship. Krishna reminds us that love does not need ceremony, it needs constancy. Focus. The true devotee lives in remembrance. Let every act be worship, every breath a prayer, and every moment an offering of love. Scene 9:15, Worship in many ways.
Scene, Krishna continues, others, sacrificing with the knowledge of unity, worship me as the one and as the many in manifold forms and diverse ways.
Then Krishna expands the field of devotion. Not all worship in the same way, and that diversity itself is sacred. Some approach him as the formless absolute, some as the personal Lord, some through rituals, some through meditation, some through knowledge, and some through nature. Each mode, when sincere, leads toward the same center. For Arjuna, this is a revelation. He sees that devotion is vast, it can wear infinite faces but share one heart. This teaching is the Gita's declaration of spiritual inclusiveness. Krishna does not ask uniformity, he celebrates unity in diversity. The scholar seeking knowledge, the priest offering ritual, the yogi in meditation, the farmer working the land, all are worshipping when they see him as the source of their effort. The world itself becomes an altar.
Now, in our era of pluralism, this vision feels urgently needed. Humanity often divides itself through faith, mistaking language for meaning. Krishna offers a higher vision. All sincere worship reaches the divine because the divine stands behind every form. When a Christian prays, a Muslim bows, a Hindu chants, or a humanist serves selflessly, the same love flows through different symbols.
For the seeker, this teaching also humbles pride. No path is complete without respect for others. To see truth everywhere is not dilution, it is maturity. Krishna's statement invites us to move beyond my way into our way toward the One.
Focus. The divine wears infinite forms, but has one essence. Respect all sincere paths. What matters is not method, but the love behind it.
Scene 9.16. I am the offering and the fire.
Scene. Krishna declares, I am the ritual, the sacrifice, the offering to ancestors, the healing herb, the sacred chant. I am the butter, the fire, and the act of offering.
Then, Krishna reveals his divine presence in every sacred act. For ages, rituals were central to spiritual life, elaborate offerings to gods and ancestors, performed with mantras and fire. Yet here, Krishna unveils a higher secret. He is all of it. He is the ritual itself, the chant, the sacred fire, the ghee poured into it, and even the priest who performs it. He is both the giver and the receiver, the beginning and the end of every act of devotion. For Arjuna, this changes everything. The battlefield, his bow, his courage, all can be offerings when seen with the right vision. There is no boundary between the sacred and the ordinary when God pervades all. Krishna's words dissolve the separation between action and worship. Life itself becomes yajna, a continuous sacrifice in the fire of awareness.
Now, this verse transforms how we view spirituality today. Many still seek the sacred in rituals alone, forgetting that the divine also lives in the flow of daily life. Krishna reminds us that he is the energy behind every sincere act, the love in service, the healing in medicine, the gratitude in prayer, the creativity in work. When you give with love, you give to him. When you help, create, forgive, or nurture, he is the receiver and the giver, both.
This realization turns the mundane into meditation. Cooking becomes ritual, conversation becomes prayer, and work becomes offering. The fire that burns in temples also burns in the heart that gives selflessly. Focus, the divine pervades every sacred act. When you offer your work, love, and effort to Krishna, life itself becomes worship. Scene 9.17. I am the father and the mother of the world.
Scene. Krishna continues, I am the father of this world, the mother, the sustainer, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the sacred syllable Om.
Then, Krishna now reveals his boundless compassion. He is not only the Lord of creation, but its very parent, nurturing, guiding, and sustaining all beings. To Arjuna, these words melt the grandeur of divinity into tenderness. God is no longer distant. He is both fatherly protector and motherly nurturer, the provider and the purifier, the eternal family of all souls. This vision transforms Arjuna's understanding of Krishna. The same being who commands duty and reveals cosmic law is also love itself, caring, forgiving, patient. Krishna becomes not just the cause of existence but its compassionate heart. The mention of Om, the primordial sound, reminds Arjuna that Krishna is the vibration behind all life, the hum of creation itself.
Now, this verse is one of the most comforting in the Gita. In a world where many feel isolated or unloved, Krishna's assurance is deeply personal. I am your parent, your sustainer, your friend. The divine is not cold perfection, but intimate care. Every time we feel protected, guided, or inspired, it is this cosmic love at work.
Modern spirituality often separates logic from emotion, but Krishna unites them. The same intelligence that governs galaxies also beats in the heart that forgives. To recognize the divine as both mother and father is to see life as relationship, not randomness. We are never orphaned in this universe, we are eternally connected to the source. Focus. The divine is both father and mother, infinite love that sustains all. When you remember this, loneliness dissolves and belonging awakens.
Scene 918. I am the goal and the refuge. Scene. Krishna declares, I am the goal, the supporter, the Lord, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the friend. I am creation, preservation, and dissolution, the resting place, and the eternal seed.
Then, Krishna gathers all divine roles into one breathtaking vision. He is the goal every soul unconsciously seeks, the refuge every heart longs for. He is the witness who observes without judging, the abode that shelters all, and the friend who never abandons. He is the energy of beginnings, the rhythm of life, and the peace of endings. For Arjuna, this dissolves the last veil of separation. The divine is not an external power to be appeased. He is the essence of being itself. Duty, devotion, and destiny all converge into the same awareness. Everything begins and ends in Krishna. To surrender to Him is to come home to one's true self.
Now, this verse speaks powerfully to modern hearts. In a world of constant striving, people seek goals, wealth, relationships, recognition, hoping for fulfillment. Krishna whispers that he is the ultimate goal behind all these desires. The longing for success is really a longing for security. The longing for love is really a longing for connection with the infinite. When the seeker realizes this, outer pursuits lose their grip.
Krishna also calls himself the friend. This intimacy is revolutionary. God is not only ruler or parent, but companion walking beside us in joy and pain, waiting in silence, guiding through intuition. The moment we remember this friendship, fear dissolves.
Focus. Krishna is the goal, the refuge, and the eternal friend. All seeking ends in him. Remembering this, life regains direction and peace.
Scene 919. I am heat, rain, and immortality.
Scene. Krishna says, I give heat, I withhold and send forth rain. I am immortality and also death. I am being and non-being, O Arjuna.
Then, Krishna's revelation now stretches to the entire spectrum of existence, from the blazing heat of the sun to the cooling rains of renewal, from birth to death, from existence to void. He claims both opposites as his own. To Arjuna, this is staggering. Krishna is not just the comfort of creation, but the balance of destruction, not just life, but the silent pause between lives. This teaching redefines divinity. Krishna is not limited to what humans call good or pleasant. He is the totality, light and shadow, joy and pain, movement and stillness. The very forces Arjuna once feared, death, loss, uncertainty, are revealed as aspects of the same divine reality. There is nowhere to run because there is nowhere that is not him.
Now, in our modern world, we often divide life into desirable and undesirable, sacred and mundane. Krishna dissolves this duality. When he says he is both being and non-being, he invites us to see life beyond opposites. Growth and decay, success and failure, love and loss, all are divine expressions. The rain that nourishes also floods. The sun that warms also scorches. Yet behind both, there is harmony.
Understanding this transforms how we respond to life's ups and downs. We stop asking why me and begin asking what is this teaching me? The one who sees God in all, even in endings, discovers unshakable peace.
Focus. Krishna is all creation and destruction, joy and sorrow, life and death. To see the divine in both is to live without fear.
Scene 920. The reward of ritual.
Scene. Krishna continues. Those who know the 3 Vedas and drink the soma, purified of sin, worship me through sacrifice. They pray for heaven and attain the world of the gods, rejoicing there for a time.
Then, Krishna now turns to describe those who worship through ritual and seek celestial reward. These devotees follow sacred law, perform rites, and attain temporary joy in the heavenly realms. Yet their happiness fades when their merit exhausts and they return to the mortal plane. For Arjuna, this reveals a subtle distinction between transactional faith and transformational devotion. Ritual can purify, but only surrender liberates. Krishna does not dismiss ritual, he reframes it. It serves as a gateway to higher understanding, not the destination itself. Heaven, in his teaching, is not a permanent state but a passing reward for good deeds. The true heaven lies in union with the divine, not in celestial pleasures.
Now, in today's world, many still approach spirituality as a transaction praying for success, health, or comfort. There is nothing wrong in asking, but Krishna reminds us that such devotion remains conditional. It brings temporary relief, but not lasting freedom. Real devotion asks not, "What will I get?" but "What can I give?"
This verse is also a mirror to our own efforts. Do we seek peace for convenience or transformation? The message is gentle yet profound. Rituals, prayers, or achievements are stepping stones, but the destination is awareness to love God not for reward, but because He is the essence of love itself. Focus. Ritual brings temporary joy. Surrender brings eternal peace. Worship not for reward, but for union with the divine. Scene 9.21, the cycle of return.
Scene. Krishna concludes, having enjoyed the vast heaven when their merit is exhausted, they enter the mortal world again. Thus, those who seek pleasure by following the Vedic law come and go.
Then, Krishna now completes the picture of cyclical existence. Those who seek divine pleasure through ritual rise high, but only temporarily. Their joy, though vast, is still bound by time. Once their good karma fades, they descend again into the human world, resuming the cycle of desire, effort, and rebirth. For Arjuna, this is a sobering realization. Heaven itself is not liberation if one remains tied to the fruits of action. The goal, Krishna implies, is not escape but awakening to move beyond the pendulum of rise and fall, gain and loss. Liberation is not found in higher realms but in higher consciousness.
Now, this verse speaks directly to the modern mind. We may not seek literal heaven, but we pursue its equivalents: success, fame, comfort, admiration. Each gives temporary satisfaction, followed by emptiness. The pattern repeats until awareness dawns. Krishna calls us to transcend this endless climb and return to simplicity, to find joy in giving, not in grasping.
To live free of this cycle is not to abandon effort but to change its foundation. When we act as offering rather than ambition, we break the chain of return. Focus. Seek not temporary heavens but lasting awareness. Liberation begins when you stop chasing reward and start serving with love. Closing summary: the devotees' love.
Scene. The battlefield remains the backdrop, but now the conversation glows with devotion. The philosophical grandeur of earlier chapters melts into intimate revelation. Krishna, the cosmic lord, reveals himself as friend, mother, father, refuge, and goal, the very heartbeat of creation.
Then, Krishna begins by describing the Mahatmas, great souls who worship with constant love, scene 9:14. Their devotion is not ritual but remembrance. Every act becomes worship. Others too worship him through diverse paths, scene 9:15. Ritual, meditation, knowledge all are valid when done with sincerity. He then expands this truth. He himself is the ritual, the offering, the fire, the chant, scene 9:16. He is both mother and father of the universe, the sustainer and the sacred syllable Om, scene 9:17. He is the goal, the refuge, the witness, and the friend, scene 9:18. The universe is held together by his love. He gives heat and rain, life and death, being and non-being, scene 9:19.
Yet, Krishna gently contrasts two types of seekers. Those who perform ritual for heavenly reward gain temporary bliss, but remain bound, scenes 9:20, 9:21. Those who love selflessly find liberation even amid action. The Gita's wisdom is clear. Faith rooted in desire rises and falls. Faith rooted in love transcends.
For Arjuna, this is both comfort and challenge. He realizes that his own duty, fighting the war, can become worship if offered without attachment. The bow becomes an altar, the arrow an offering, and his courage a hymn to the divine.
Now, for the modern seeker, this chapter speaks timeless truth. Spiritual life is not confined to temples or retreats. It flows through work, relationships, creativity, and service. Every act done with awareness becomes sacred. God is not found in isolation, but in participation in the hands that serve, the mind that reflects, and the heart that loves.
Krishna's message is deeply inclusive. He honors every form of worship, yet gently points toward essence, love without expectation, action without ego. True devotion unites knowledge and feeling, surrender and strength. It dissolves the illusion of separation between God and world, sacred and secular, me and you.
This is the royal secret of devotion, that God is not just to be worshipped, but lived. To see Him in all is to live in constant prayer. To act from love, not fear, is the mark of divine maturity.
Focus. The essence of devotion is sincerity. Worship is not in the form, but in the heart. When every act becomes offering, every breath becomes prayer, and every being becomes sacred, you have entered the kingdom of love, the true heaven that never fades.